A fresh dose of tech news and insight. This is breaking news on Eagle Eyes on Tech. It is Tuesday, September 19th, 2023. This is Eagle Eyes on Tech. I almost said the old podcast there for a minute. Holy cow. We have some breaking news regarding Microsoft, in fact, and I wasn't going to cover this when I first saw it, and then I started digging into it a bit more. And by digging into it a bit more, I mean I listened to Yang Ya in the shower, which is why my hair is currently wet, and he brought up a detail that actually is worth talking about. Wario64 here has the leaked documents from an FTC filing from Microsoft. So the reason why we believe these are 100% credible, by the way, is because what's going on right now is Microsoft and the FTC are currently in court over the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. That is still currently going on, even though everything points to it's going to happen. All right, but the case is still ongoing right now. And one of the things that was filed was all the slides regarding the next Xbox Series refresh. There's no name on what it's called yet. It's just called the Xbox Series X refresh. I don't believe they finalized the name yet, but it looks like it's being targeted for next October, according to Wario64. And the biggest thing of note of this thing is, first off, it's cylindrical. So they went up and blatantly copied the Mac Pro fully this time around, because everyone wants a cylindrical trash can, right? But I digress. The bigger thing, though, is that this has no disk drive. And this is what I want to talk about. For $499, the refreshed Xbox Series X does away with the disk drive. And a lot of the talk here in this slide that they have for them for the refresh is talking about their sustainability. 100% recycled packaging. Increased use of PCR and housing to less than 30%. A new low power standby mode. That's 20% of the current Xbox Series S standby mode. Reduced PSU power by 15%. That's actually a bad thing, by the way. It would be a bigger thing if you actually reduce the power consumption by that, but it means as a less beefy power supply, hopefully it can get away with it. I hope it can. I would assume it can. CPU is going to be on a lower die node. It's going to be on 6 nanometers instead of, I think it was 7 before. I'm not sure. But you have improved efficiency, so that reduced power supply probably does make some sense there. USB-C on the front. And the big thing here is the fact that disk drive is gone. This is going to be an all-digital console, and I have big concerns about this. The only reason a lot of these older consoles work is because there's physical media. If my Super Nintendo required an online Steam-like store, that's it. It's done. That store's not up anymore. That thing is now e-waste. It has no future. But now, oh my God, I can now play it and relive the exact colors it used to have and all its imperfections. It's great. Without the disk drive, this means that when this Xbox reaches end of life, that's it. And I know that's not a concern for a lot of people right now. That will be a concern down the road. It means that eventually there's going to be no life in it. And if you want to go ahead and hold out, well, you're only going to have a few years after the Xbox Series comes to an end and it's replaced. And that's kind of a shame. We did get a look at updated controllers. I really have nothing to say about these newer updated controllers and all that sort of jazz. It's, it is what it is. There's also going to be a refresh of what appears to be the Xbox Series S called the Elliewood. That's going to be in Are they saying, oh, that's fiscal year. Ugh. So yeah, that would be late August 2024. This is what I get for, like, I was not prepared to even do this episode, but when I heard it, it's just like, I got to talk about this because there's a lot to talk about. There are going to be some new games as well. I'm not going to lie, I cannot read this chart. Because we have fiscal year 20E, 21E, 22E, 23E, 24E for this chart from Reset Era that was also in this FTC leak. I shouldn't call it a leak. What was presented at the court, because a leak means they willingly put it up, means that it was either, it's implied a leak is unintentionally let out, but this was intentionally let out because they had to for court. We do see we're in the middle of fiscal year 21E. I don't know if this is looking then to see, 22, 23, 24, and 24 is what, or this is supposed to be quarters. I don't get what this is supposed to be. I mean, the main reason I see that we're in 21E is because we see Starfield, we see Ghostwire Tokyo, we see Redfall, we see a bunch of stuff that we know is out. That means up next would be Indiana Jones, Oblivion Remaster. A lot of people are going to be excited about that. Elder Scrolls Online expansion. Is there an Elder Scrolls Online expansion every year? Okay, then. And a new Starfield DLC with 3 mobile games planned. No idea what they are yet. I have a feeling mobile games you can crank out in about 3 months. There's going to be a new Doom game after that in the next fiscal year. Project Kestrel, Project Platinum. I have to assume that these are all a year apart. I have to assume that. But 3 years from now, that's when they're expecting the launch of Elder Scrolls 6. That's when we're also expecting a Fallout 3 remaster. That's when we're expecting a Ghostwire Tokyo sequel. We're expecting a Dishonored 3. That's going to be big. So you already know that Microsoft doesn't have much planned for the next 2 years. But the year after that, that's when a ton of stuff's going to hit, at least from the Bethesda front. Now, keep in mind, I can't read these charts very well because the fact we're in fiscal year 21E makes no sense to me when it's 2023. I don't get the numbering on that. So I don't know what the exact time frame is. It sounds like we can expect Elder Scrolls 6 in 2026, I think, but I really don't know. And of course, how much of this was skewed just slightly to make it appear that, we don't have that much going on. It's kind of hard to say. In addition to all that, there was some Microsoft emails that showed that Phil Spencer actually did want to buy Nintendo as well. Thank God that didn't go through. We really don't need Microsoft to own Nintendo as well. And quite frankly, I don't see Nintendo. Nintendo is very stubborn in the way they operate. I do not see Nintendo willing to want to sell. But that's what we're looking at here. We're looking at quite possibly Nintendo being the last holdout for cartridges. Sony's going to follow. Sony's wanted to kill off discs for a while. They want to have full control. Sony wants full control of just about bloody everything there is. It shows again and again and again. So is that just going to be it? Are we looking at the future of consoles now definitely, inevitably going to, it's all going to be e-waste. And if you want to play old games, well, beg for enough and maybe we'll go ahead and make a remaster of it. Oh, I hate this reality. I really do. And I want to be wrong. Please tell me I'm going to be wrong in what it all means. That's going to do it for me. Take care. Rest well. What am I going to do for outros on these? I don't even know. Go have a good day.